Hey, Bible lovers, I had a chance to talk with Kofi and ask him about how he became a Bible reviewer. So here's his story. Check it out. It's pretty cool. Tell me how you got into reviewing Bibles. What led to this?
So, I guess without going into my entire life story, my father was the kind of person, well, he's still alive. My father's the kind of person who really liked his Bibles. So he was a Cambridge guy. Um, not a not a big spender in a lot of ways, but if it came down to spending money, one thing that he would spend money on was a good Cambridge. So he's had clarions and cameos and wide margins. Like, so I grew up around really nice Bibles. And so, as I, got older and, occasionally he was a KJV man, still is. And so I always appreciated good construction on Bibles, good leather, good paper. My dad writes in all of his Bibles. And so, those sorts of things. So I started being interested in Bibles. I mean, it really wasn't until 2016 I really started paying attention to stuff like, okay, oh, this Bible's edgelined. This is different from just your common paste down. Um,
Right.
I started getting a bit frustrated because I like buy a Bible to like use, and then it's falling apart on me. I'm like, why is it falling apart? And then, oh, this is glued. This isn't sewn. This is why this is falling apart. And so that kind of got me interested in the more technical side of it all. And so I just started on my Instagram pages. As I bought new Bibles, I'd review them. And then just kind of kept doing that. And really it's only in the last year that I'm like, I should just start a website and be a bit more disciplined about this. um, so started the website, and yeah, that's how I really got into it. Just trying to find a Bible that was good and I could use. And that meant, okay, I've got to
Right.
keep buying them, and then I've got to keep asking the same questions. So that's how
Right.
I got into reviewing them.
Well, here's my story. In 2018, a friend of mine and I found this really odd Bible. It was called a Sefer or a Sefer. And it had like the Book of Jubilees, the Book of Jasher, all the missing books in it.
Oh.
And it claimed to restore the Hebrew scriptures.
Mm.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to give this thing a look. So, us having no idea what it was, two goofballs, we got together and made a video. And we
Mm-hmm.
butchered everything. We had no idea what we were talking about. We butchered words, butchered pretty much anything you could butcher. But we had a ball. And on the first day, it got 1,400 views. And it was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, wow, this is interesting. We did not expect that. So we decided to do a follow-up review on it. And then we found Acts chapter 29,
Mm-hmm.
which Acts only has 28 chapters.
Yeah.
So I was like, wait a minute, what is up with this thing? So we discovered that basically anything that claimed to be the scripture, he just kind of threw it in there.
Oh.
They found it in some book. They found it tucked into some book, and it said it was Acts 29. And they used, like Paul said he was going to Spain, and some sort of fragment, a Muratorian fragment, I think it was called, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of explained, hey, this is probably cultish, so you might want to avoid this. And then that video ended up doing very well as well. So a couple weeks later, my buddy comes in with a ESV Bible and says, hey, they sent us this to review. And I was like, they do that? Having no idea that we were doing something that actually was a thing that
Mm-hmm.
people actually did. And we reviewed it and we butchered it. I had no idea what edgelining was. I had no idea that premium Bibles existed. Then I finally was like, okay, I wonder if other people do this. So I looked up and I found Randy Brown,
Mm-hmm.
and I found Bo Tate, and I found Cat Woods, and I found Bible
Mm-hmm.
Believing Christian. And I started devouring these videos, and I learned, oh, so that's what edgelining is. So see, you had the advantage on me because you actually had a dad that bought these things. You knew what edgelining was, and
Yeah.
you were discovered, but we had no idea. Sewn binding, gloom binding, I didn't even know that was a thing. And I was totally green to this whole completely by accident. I was never thinking, you know what, I'm gonna see if I can be a reviewer. We just made a video, totally random, and that was kind of the end of it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's a good way to go about it, though. I think Tim Wildsmith said something similar on his channel that, it just started for him a year ago. It was like, trying to find a Bible that he could love. I think
right.
if it, I get lots of guys, particularly in our area, that like, I want to get into reviewing. I want to start getting Bible sent to me. I'm like, that's not the way to think about this.
Right.
Like, for me, it started, like I said, I'm trying to find a Bible that, especially one I can preach out of regularly, and it's not going to fall apart on me. Right. And like I said, I had some limited knowledge of, knowing the edge line binding and the paste down stuff. Okay, fine. But eventually just was, bought another one. Let's give this a test on and see how it goes. I think if it kind of starts with, I'm curious or I'm interested in this, that's way better than just, I want them to send me free stuff. Well, good luck. Right. That's not going to work.
Well, and also, it's a misnomer to call it free because they don't just give them to you.
Mm-hmm.
They expect effort, they expect promotion, they expect they expect knowledge. I mean, you got to put effort in this, and I get those messages sometimes, and I also get the messages of people from other countries. I need a free Bible.
Mm-hmm.
I get those quite a bit, and shipping overseas right now is complicated anyway. So I just kind of have the standard answer. I don't ship overseas. We have a ton of free options online. So that can get kind of sticky when people are like, how can I get a free Bible? And that's their motive. And then you also have the ones that just get started. They have 15, 20 followers, and then they're upset because they won't send them $100 Bible.
It's like, that's one of those things that, I've had to tell people, like, the reality is you're probably going to have to buy, I very rarely get sent stuff anyway. Like, most of the reviews that I'm doing at the moment, I'm buying them myself because I want to have these Bibles.
Right.
And then out of that, I write a review. Like, you're going to have to put your own investment into that. Show that, you're serious about this. Because I agree, like, a good publisher is not going to send you a Premier Collection, couple $100 Bible when chances are you might not even review it in the first place,
Right. And I can't remember the first Bible that we got. It was from Crossway, and it was not very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just because we had 2 videos that just happened to do good. It was just really, I wouldn't call it luck, because I don't believe in luck, but it's definite. It's not ordinary. My experience isn't ordinary. You don't make a video and get 1,400 views in a day, especially having no idea what you're doing. And I think most of the views were, hey, look at these 2 clowns that have no idea what they were talking about. So, but it was fun. So there you have it. Now you know the story of how Kofi and I became Bible reviewers. So anyhow, keep calm. Jesus on. This is more than a nickel's worth.